All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. He double honors the apostles, elders at Great Millstone. Salutations to the elect members that scattered abroad. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing this work in truth and in sincerity. All right. So, I didn't have a title for this lesson. I kind of just wanted to go straight into this information. Because I heard a term, all right, from this guy Bill Gates, all right, and the term is called germ, all right, but it's an acronym, okay, and this lesson is basically just showing you what your enemy is up to, all right, and what they want to do as far as their new, uh, let's see, new world order, all right, okay, so pretty much Bill Gates he came up with this meet the germ team, all right, because again, remember, we don't live in a democracy or a so-called democracy anymore. We actually live in that technocratic order, you know, where they're phasing out democracy, and really they're not allowing for legitimate rulers to rule anymore, all right, which Esau has never been a legitimate ruler, and basically what I mean is those that, they swear in on a law, they swear to protect your democracy and so on and so forth. But the individuals who are in rule right now, they're eugenicists, and they want to rid the world of the majority of its population, according to their own Georgia Guidestones. Okay, so Gates notes, meet the germ team. Creating the germ team is one of the most important things we can do to prevent the next demic. Okay, and I ain't gonna say the whole word. All right, and it says at the beginning of the movie Outbreak, there's a scene where three government virologists arrive by helicopter at a remote village. Most of the village has recently died from Ebola-like symptoms, wearing protective moon suits while triumphant music plays in the background. So yeah, get that scene in your mind, because that's where we headed. Okay, and they're gonna make sure of it. All right, and so your mind should be already focused on, uh, you know, certain movies should come to your mind. Um, you know, a certain you should have a certain visual of what's going to take place. Okay, this is our heroes immediately get to work trying to contain the threat before it hurts anyone else. It's an inspiring scene. All right, this is unfortunately is pure Hollywood fiction. A full-time team. All right, which again, I kind of made a lesson that was hinting around the world looking like a science fiction horror film. All right, because it's coming. All right, and these are the ultimate plans, because Esau wants to take over the world. He wants to own every soul. And at the helm of his vision for a new world order, he's the hero, and uh, he's pretty much created a society now, the NWO, where only uh, those who pledge, they're pretty much pledge their loyalty to it is going to be the ones that thrive. Okay, the ones that are sustained in his new world order. And basically, he doesn't want anyone that to be individuals. He don't want anyone to be independent from this NWO, this new world order of his. Okay, so it says a full-time team like this doesn't exist in real life yet. I'm hoping this changes soon, because it is one of the most important things we can do to prevent the next epidemic. All right. Today, there are many organizations that work hard to respond to a major epidemic, but their efforts are largely dependent on volunteers. All right. You got NGOs, non-governmental organizations. All right. The best known is the Global Outbreak Alert and Response Network, the GORN. All right, which does heroic work but doesn't have the staffing, funding, or global mandate to tackle every threat. We need permanent organization or of experts who are fully paid and prepared to mount a coordinated response to a dangerous outbreak at any time. In my book, I propose that we can call this group the GERM Global Epidemic Response and Mobilization Team. All right, I got a little video for it. The GERM team would be made up of people from all over the world who have a wide range of expertise: epidemiology, genetics, data systems, diplomacy, rapid response, logistics, computer modeling, communications, and more. These are the people that's going to be active toward in this time of turmoil. Okay, these individuals who sign up for this task force. This is when they are actively working in the field. Most of them would call individual countries' public health agencies home base, though some would sit in the WHO's, the World Health Organization's regional offices, and at its headquarters in Geneva. Wow, we know about Geneva. All right, it says I talked about GERM at length in my TED Talk last month. It is important that GERM have a diverse workforce. The team is going to serve the entire world. It only makes sense that its members reflect the experiences and backgrounds of the people they are going to work with. Ideally, GERM would have a high number of local experts from countries at a higher risk of outbreak, and outsiders would only show up when necessary and when the in-country team requests help. And I'm sure you brothers seen that. Hopefully you've seen the TV show Utopia. All right. And if you haven't, check it out. Okay. I'm gonna check it out again myself. I tried to watch it a while back, and then I was just, I couldn't watch it at the time. But watch it because it's gonna show you what the setting is gonna be like. Okay. But yeah, these are the people. They keep pushing for this thing. All right. And there's a reason why they're pushing for this thing is because what? That they are preparing for the scourges, so to speak. All right, the punishments. Okay, which in on many how can I say it? In many ways, they're generating these crises. Okay. All right. Just some other tidbit information. All right. Rockefeller Gates and Bloomberg Foundations control global health. This is a new article. It says the receipts how the WHO, Gates, and BlackRock want to take over the world. All right. And it ain't just hearsay. It's what they're doing. It's what they're buying up. You'll know it as a corporatocracy. Let's see here. You got the term corporatocracy, which corporatocracy, a society or system that is governed or controlled by corporations. And if you know anything about politics, you know politics is heavily influenced by corporations. All right, through lobbyists. So the government is taken over by corporations. The government itself is a huge corporation, and it's a machine. Okay, it doesn't care who it hurts and what effect it leaves on the earth, as long as it's operating as if it's a machine. All right. Okay. As long as they're bringing the money in. Okay. So at the very top of the, of society, you got these Edomites who are pretty much consolidated everything and took over everything, so they can control the outcome of this new world. All right, which a lot of people are already, pretty much are outcasted from, even though it hasn't, really started as of yet. Okay, so you got corporate entities like BlackRock that's buying up everything, taking over everything, and these are the things that they're doing. All right, let me see if I can get some receipts. All right, so here it says op-ed. All right, largely unnoticed by the public, the WHO is working to significantly expand its power and usurp far-reaching control through the back door, and that's the emergency powers that we've been talking about. The emergency powers, they can take over anything in an emergency, and in fact, it doesn't have to be an emergency. All right, which we're still under an emergency. Okay, so that's how they backdooring it. All right, it says alternative for Germany deputy chair in the Bundestag, Beatrix von Storch, reveals the U.S. billionaires behind it and who bought whom. The WHO is currently working on a comprehensive initiative for the demic prevention, which includes a demic treaty. All right, and this is pretty good if you go into this. Demic prevention, preparedness, and response accord. All right. What is it? What is it meant by convention, agreement, or international instrument? So basically, all you need to really know is that they're making laws to further expand their control. Okay, when they need to control what um, what things they need to do during the pandemic, which is pretty much when you have threats like I know they listed some of the threats, like a biological terrorist attack. They have to what? They have to somehow um, gain control. All right, and that's through um, how can I say it? The term compartmentalize, like um, compartmentalization. So it's basically them being able to um, isolate isolate uh, um, situations and have them under control. All right, and that's mainly going to be through martial law. Okay, martial law. And then you're going to have the health. I remember the health. Um, it was a mobile group. It was like a mobile health group that they were going to um, allow to pretty much roam the streets when they shut down the streets and randomly give people checkups and randomly do certain things. So it's a lot of things that they're doing. Okay, it says in changes to health regulations. Okay, so it's like it said the WHO is currently working on a comprehensive initiative for pandemic prevention, which includes a demic treaty and changes to health regulations. See, so it's changes to health regulations, which is that's a big one. Okay, it says these are expected to be decided by no later than May of next year. And next year is going to be a hell of a year. It's important to understand that the pandemic treaty is only part of the problem. More dangerous are the changes to international health regulations, while the pandemic treaty must be ratified as new international law. The changes to international health risk rules automatically apply to every WHO member unless they explicitly opt out. Rockefeller, Gates, and Bloomberg foundations control global health. This is actual factual, all right? And these are the eugenicists, okay? These are the ones that want to eradicate the population, okay? And, you know, of course, we know Revelation 6 and 4. You know, they was given power to do so. So it's all a part of the Lord's strategy. All right, it says the powerful players in global health are not elected governments, but three private foundations, the Rockefeller Foundation and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and Bloomberg Philanthropies. Among these, the Rockefeller Foundation, endowed with $5 billion, is by far the smallest, see, but also the oldest of the three. The Gates Foundation has an endowment of $40 billion US dollars, and Bloomberg Philanthropies has about $50 billion. These foundations are not only closely linked to the World Health Organization, but also to Big Pharma and Big Finance, as well as the research sector. They combine investment, research, funding, political lobbying, policy, advising, and of course, public relations. See, they're everywhere. They're like an octopus who has 8 arms. And in fact, that's how they see themselves. That's their symbolism too. Bill Gates and Michael Bloomberg have been working together for decades. An important stage of their cooperation was the informal gathering of billionaires at Rockefeller University in 2009. The meeting, reported by NBC, was organized by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Bloomberg was already the mayor of New York at that time. See, it says Johns Hopkins University also involved. Big Pharma and Big Finance go hand in hand. Downplaying his role, Gates plays his part. All right, and again, Bill Gates is what you would call he's in philanthropy, but he is what you would call a technocrat. All right, he a technocrat. Okay, a scientist slash philanthropist who his expertise is in eugenics. All right, and when the shutdowns happen again, and you better believe it's gonna be some hardcore laws that they pass. There's gonna be some real hardcore laws, and this is an example. This is Greta Thunberg. She's pretty much the poster child of the green movement, or humanitarian movement, which they call global warming. All right, and she is set up to get the younger generation to follow. All right, and her family is into heavy witchcraft. All right, all you got to do is look up at her family, and you're gonna see nothing but symbolism and witchcraft. They know what they're doing, you know. And to Yahweh Shem Shah for revealing that in the spirit. It says Bill Gates warns world leaders to practice germ games to prepare for bioterrorist attacks. So they already have, and we've seen movies on it. All right. So this is what they're banking on, and this was 2 years ago, November 4th. All right, that's Greta. So this is what she's saying, and this is part of the draconian laws that they're gonna bring in amongst many laws. This is the ideal of their new world. And then I'm gonna get some precepts, and then Lord willing, this is edifying, man, for real. And close out. All right. Greta Thunberg pledges to go net zero on swear words. All right. So imagine that, and the first thing that should come to your mind, I don't know, is this movie, Demolition Man, where if you swear, you get fined for it. What is that they call? That's called a social credit system. Okay. In order to enact this, they're gonna have to have a social credit system so that the laws that they're pushing out is being upheld. All right. Look at that, man. That's the devil, man. That's these are Edomites, man. And their vision of a new world, man, ain't got nothing to do with. It ain't got nothing to do with freedom. It ain't got nothing to do with heaven on earth. It ain't got nothing to do with all people living freely. It's about exploitation at the highest level. It's about slavery, you know. Look at him, man. That just his smirk alone is an insult. Is a high insult. Story at glance, and this is what they want you to focus on. Bill Gates says bioterrorism is imminent. That means imminent meaning around the corner. Gates warned international authorities that they should engage in germ games. All right, setting up certain factions to go out and pretty much control the situation. And by this time, you already know they're gonna have FEMA sites where, and they're gonna call it a certain name so it don't be, obvious that it's a concentration camp. All right, but they're gonna quarantine zones and so on and so forth, man. You know, he says this would require the U.S. and the U.K. to spend tens of billions on research and development on the next demic. All right, and they've done that within the last few years, and now it's gonna be it's gonna be that draconian law, man. All right, this is the serpent, right? That old serpent, as the scriptures say. So that's Greta. She's a Greta Thunberg pledges to go net zero on swear words, and this is just one. This is one thing out of many. All right, many new laws that they're gonna have. You see, and she is a spokesperson for the green movement and making the world a better place. They're using her to corrupt, to rouse up all the young folks. Check this out in this movie. And this is gonna be the norm. All right. This is their ideals, their devices. But the Lord said He's gonna cut it before it comes into full play.
Sanctimonious asshole.
Melina Huxley, you are fined 1/2 credit for a...
As a pistol.
Look, I don't need a history lesson. Come on, Hal. Where the goddamn gun?
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
Fuck you.
Your repeated violation of the verbal morality statute.
Fuckers are fast, too.
You are fined 1 credit.
Smoking is not good for you, and it's been deemed that anything not good for you is bad, hence illegal. Alcohol, caffeine, contact sports, meat.
Are you shitting me?
John Spartan.
Yeah. So and everything she's saying is on point. This is what the new world will consist of.
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
The verbal morality statute. They're gonna be having shit like that for real, for real.
The hell is that?
John Spartan, you are fined 1 credit.
Shit. You're a damn good fly.
You are fined 2 credits.
Thanks a lot, you shit.
John Spartan, you are fined. John Spartan, you are John Spartan, you are John Spartan, you are fined 5 credits for repeated violations of the verbal morality.
So much for the seashell. Yeah, man, that was a good movie. But yeah, the predictive programming, man, to show you what they're gonna be doing. All right. So, but this is what the Lord said He's gonna do. Job 5, because they envision this world, and this is what they're gonna impose on everyone. And if you don't have the RFID chip, which is the MOTB, you cannot function in this world of theirs. Okay. And they're gonna make sure of it because they're going to gridlock the system. That's why they're buying up all it. And then the point of this is that these are the stuff that we got to look out for, because they already bought up everything. They already own every fucking thing. Now we're at a point where we're reaching a very high boiling point. And now the next The next birth pain is about to come. All right. The next scourge is about to come. All right, and it's gonna be big. Okay. This is Job 5:12. It says he disappointed the devices. It's like he disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. All right, and this is what the NWO is. All right, it's a device. It's an ideal first. Okay, because that's what a device means. All right, it means ideal. Okay. Okay, it says thought, device, purpose, work. Excuse me, imaginations, cunning, devise, invented, means. Okay. All right. Look here. It says a contrivance, i.e., concretely a texture, machine. We said that earlier, or abstractly intention, plan. What is in his intentions? This NWO, and within this NWO, there's a whole shitload of new laws. When they say great reset, they mean it, and they mean they're bringing in different laws, draconian laws, and it's going to be harsher on the poor. All right, because really that's who their laws is geared against, so they can persecute them, and then that's how society runs now. They thrive off the ignorance. Now they just thrive off the ignorance of people who don't know the law. And now, in the NWO, this New World Order, they're going to be enforcing these certain laws. One, for example, just an example, is they're not cursing. It's net zero on cursing, which is ultimately bugged out, but because, who is Esau think he is? He get to set the standard of what is right or wrong, when he just crossed every line and never upheld any right. He just done evil in the earth, and everything that he's gotten is by way of cheating. So who are you to set the standard of what is right and wrong in society? And this is what we got to deal with going into this fucked up society that he's trying to recreate and eliminate God from, and eliminate his people from. Isaiah 62:6 says, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence. And I know we ain't big on a conspiracy thing and all of that type of shit. I really ain't big on it myself. It's just certain things I see with a spiritual eye, and it's hard to deny what's unfolding. So I know I might have been all over the place with this one anyway. So Salaki on that. All right, but it says, and give him no rest till he establish. Right, Salaki. I'll read it again. Isaiah 62:6. I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Ye that make mention of the Lord Yahweh, keep not silence, and give him no rest till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. All right. And so we're supposed to always be saying something about what's, especially when it comes to the Lord, especially his will. We're supposed to say, we're not supposed to keep silence about that. All right. We're supposed to let every man know and warn every man. All right. Okay. So, only had, that ain't really had too many precepts at all, kind of just wanted to bring that out. But back in Job 5:13, it says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. All right. So when the time comes where he's about to establish his enterprise, he's not going to be able to. All right. The Lord has tricked him on that. All right. He's pretty much hardened his heart, just like he did Pharaoh in the ancient world, just so the Lord can show his power. All right. And ultimately, he's going to take Esau down. It says, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the froward is carried headlong, meaning they're going to fall on their face on this one. Right? It says, they meet with darkness in the daytime and grope in the noonday as in the night. right? Because ultimately they want to hoard everything to save themselves from the power of the Lord, to save themselves from the the punishments, the turmoil that pretty much they induced or had a helping hand induced. All right, to save themselves and to eliminate everybody else. But this is what the Lord says, Job 5:15. But He saveth the poor from the sword, from their mouth. All right, which are the policies that they go forth, right? And from the hand of the mighty. So the poor had hope, and iniquity stoppeth her mouth. And that's what's going to happen, because what? The Lord is going to raise us up. He's going to set up, as the scriptures say, a standard. It's lucky because I'm very tired. It's 1:30 in the morning right now. All right, this is Isaiah 59 and 15. It says, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased. Nope, 19. I knew, yeah, that was all. Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. All right, because that's what they're preparing to do. They're coming to prepare to come in as a flood. All right. The Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. All right. And the Redeemer shall come to Zion, and unto them that turn from transgression in Jacob, said the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. All right, so the Lord is going to save those that turn away, that convert back to the truth. All right. All right. And he's coming to put down our enemies. Okay. Because they think they're going to save themselves through the power of their wickedness, but in their own counsel, the Lord has pretty much tripped them up. And yeah, man, Lord, this lesson was edifying, because I just wanted to touch on that. You know, how the elites are preparing, and they're pulling out. Look at that, going after preventable diseases, pneumonia, diarrhea, yeah, measles, malaria. Yeah, so they got it all planned out, man. They got it all planned out. And so with that, we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles, elders of great millstone. Salutations to you, Aki, pushing the work in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.